Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the another online lecture. Today we will be understanding about the glycolysis. Whenever it comes to carbohydrate metabolism, we know that the glycolysis is the central metabolic pathway of the carbohydrate metabolism. See why is it is so? Because the carbohydrates, we know that they are synthesized by the plants, and they are synthesized by the plants by photosynthesis. But whenever it comes to utilization of carbohydrates by the cell, so whether we are taking polysaccharide in diet, whether we are taking disaccharide in diet, and after the digestive processes, the carbohydrates, they will be utilized as the glucose. कुछ भी हम खा लेंगे, ठीक है, पॉलीसेकेराइड खा लेंगे, डाइसेकेराइड खा लेंगे, बट आपका जो मेटाबॉलिज्म चलेगा वो मेटाबॉलिज्म ग्लूकोज से ही चलेगा. सो हम कहते हैं दैट ग्लूकोज इज द सेंट्रल मॉलिक्यूल वेन एवर इट कम्स टू कार्बोहाइड्रेट मेटाबॉलिज्म. ओके, तो अब जब भी हम मेटाबॉलिक पाथवे की आउटलाइन की बात करते हैं, वी ऑलरेडी से दैट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कम्स द न्यूट्रिशन. ये हमारा जो न्यूट्रिशन है, हम जब न्यूट्रिशन लेंगे उसके बाद डाइजेस्ट होगा, देन कम्स द डाइजेशन, एंड आफ्टर डाइजेशन इज द एब्जॉर्प्शन, एंड आफ्टर एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ द न्यूट्रिएंट्स, okay, the blood carries all the nutrients to the cell, and inside the cell it is metabolized to give the energy. Okay, and energy in biological system, it is always in the form of ATP, the adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so when it comes to carbohydrates, there are three principal monosaccharides that results from the digestive process. Okay, after digestion, they are the glucose. After digestion of carbohydrates, we get the glucose. We also get the fructose, and we also get the mannose. So the carbohydrates, they are digested by the cells as glucose, and after digestion, as a result of digestive processes, the three molecules, glucose, fructose, and galactose are obtained. Okay, so from where do we get this glucose? We get this glucose from the starch in our diet, most of the glucose. Okay, and glucose is also produced by liver. Glucose is also produced by liver as a result of gluconeogenesis. And when we are taking a high amount of fructose, this fructose is as a result of large intake of sucrose. Large intake of sucrose. So these are the sugars which we are taking regularly in our diet. And galactose is produced when lactose is hydrolyzed. What is lactose? Lactose is the milk sugar. And these fructose and galactose, remember that whatever the circumstances may be, these fructose and galactose, they are not directly metabolized by the glucose, rather by the liver. Rather, these fructose and galactose, they are converted to glucose into in the liver. They are converted to glucose in the liver, but glucose is oxidized either aerobically or anaerobically. That means glucose is the central molecule whenever it comes to carbohydrate metabolism. If we are taking fructose and galactose into consideration, that हम डाइट में सुक्रोज भी तो लेंगे, सुक्रोज से आपका फ्रक्टोज आ जाएगा, लैक्टोज भी लेंगे, लैक्टोज से आपका गैलेक्टोज आ जाएगा. अब ये फ्रक्टोज और गैलेक्टोज डायरेक्टली मेटाबोलाइज नहीं होंगे, लेकिन ये कहाँ पे कन्वर्ट होते हैं? लिवर में ये ग्लूकोज में कन्वर्ट होते हैं. तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि सेंट्रल मॉलिक्यूल अभी तक भी हमें क्या ही दिख रहा है? ग्लूकोज सेंट्रल मॉलिक्यूल दिख रहा है. ठीक है, ओके. सो sometimes this glucose can be obtained by glycogen stores. अगर हम समय से खाना नहीं खाते हैं, this glucose, this can be obtained by glycogen stores. Also there are certain sugars, जैसे हमारे पेंटोज sugars होते हैं, पेंटोज sugars such as arabinose जो हम डाइट में लेते हैं, पेंटोज शुगर सच एज योर राइबोज, सच एज योर xylose, they may also be present in diet, but their absorption is obscure. ठीक है. So hello everyone, I welcome you all to the another lecture of this series. Today we will be studying about the glycolysis. Okay, so glycolysis, as we already know, it is a sequence of 10 reactions that converts glucose into pyruvate. That will be converting the glucose into pyruvate. All right. So why these reactions are carried out? They are carried out because the conversion of glucose into pyruvate leads in the production of ATP. Whatever we are eating, जितना भी हम nutrition ले रहे हैं, है ना, उससे हमें ATP चाहिए, उससे हमें energy चाहिए. Okay. So there are 10 reactions in the glycolysis, and where does this glycolysis takes place? The site for glycolysis is the extra mitochondrial part of the cell. So extra mitochondrial part means it is the cytoplasm. And being discovered by Embden-Meyerhof, this pathway is also known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. This is known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. All right. So when we talk about glycolysis, for each and every step, there are enzymes. Okay. For each step, there are enzymes. And let us now understand the outline of glycolysis. First of all, the glucose by 10 consecutive reactions. Okay. There will be 10 consecutive, or we can say there will be 10 successive reactions, and these 10 successive reactions, they will be converting the glucose into two molecules of pyruvate by the process of glycolysis. And now this pyruvate, it can be converted into aerobic condition. If the condition is aerobic, then it can be converted into acetyl coenzyme A, and under the aerobic conditions, and when the conditions are anaerobic, this pyruvate is converted into lactate. So this is the outline. And this pyruvate, it can also be converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So this is under anaerobic condition, and this process is known as alcoholic fermentation. This process is known as alcoholic fermentation. So further, this acetyl coenzyme A will be entering into the TCA cycle, which in turn will be producing more reducing equivalents, which in turn will be producing more reducing equivalents. And what are these reducing equivalents? These reducing equivalents are NAD, FAD, which when enters into the electron transport chain will generate more of the ATP. Okay. So this is the outline of glycolysis. In the next lecture, we will be covering the glycolysis cycle.